Hi, welcome to a conversation with Gift Patrick. If this is your first time watching this online series, I'm your host, Gift Patrick. And if you haven't seen my previous episode, please make sure you check it out at Gift Patrick on YouTube and follow my Instagram page. Highly recommended. You'll find daily quotes there that will get your day going. It's gift_Patrick_. And on my profile, you will find a link to my YouTube page, and you can always subscribe, catch up on my old videos. And talking about old videos, my last episode was on delayed journey, and since that episode, people have been asking me to kind of talk more about my process when I spoke on how I had delayed journey in terms of getting my master's and how I was able to overcome that journey and actually come at the end as a successful graduate. And I thought that it's a good thing that people are asking, because this episode I'm going to be talking about actually seeking help. So seeking help is the title of this episode, and what that means is when we are in a situation, most times the society kind of tag the act of seeking help, whether it's professional, personal, health-wise, whatever it is, but just being vulnerable enough to tell people that I don't know how to go about this situation, or I'm weak, I don't know how to move forward, or I'm failing. Society have kind of stigmatized that process of admitting that you are not okay to be bad, to be a sign of weakness, to be a sign of failure. Well, I hope by the end of this video you understand that even if it's failure, as people would say it is, which I totally disagree with that. I think being able to be vulnerable enough, or being able to identify that you need help and at the right time and you are seeking help, is this most strength defining attitude that I can actually think of. Like, it's not everyone. I think a lot of cowards would never admit when they're failing. I think a lot of people who are like so proud and full of themselves will never admit they need help, even if they are dying. Well, if you are able to admit when you do need help to someone else, or if you are able to talk to people about your troubles, find solution, that's strength. That's to me, that's like someone that is full of so much courage. That's someone that is wise, that wants to grow, that wants to be better, that knows that no man in this life can live life by themselves. So if you are in any situation right now, and the only reason that you haven't spoken to someone who can help you, or who can just listen, because sometimes help comes in different ways. Sometimes you just need to talk to someone about what you are going through, and that's the only help you need, just listening ears, and will make your situation a lot better. Speak up. That's bravery. The biggest bravery I've seen, the best type of bravery, is people who can actually speak up for themselves, no matter the situation they are in. And that's an act that I have personally have to learn. I'm still learning to know that it's okay to not feel certain kind of way, to not feel like because I'm asking someone about my problems, or talking to someone about my problem, or telling someone that I don't know how to go about certain situation, doesn't mean that I am stupid, doesn't mean that I'm weak, it doesn't mean that I am incapable. It just means that I'm smart enough to know that at that moment I don't have what I need to move forward. And for me to move forward, it's okay for me to ask someone who has been there before, or talk to people who may or may not have solution. Again, that's another thing. When you do seek help, don't think every time you seek help is going to come with a solution. So be prepared for the disappointment, and don't give up. Don't because of the fact that you've sought help before in the past and didn't get it, shut down. I know a lot of people shut down and they keep to themselves, and they go into their shelf because in the past they've been rejected. In the past, when they try to be vulnerable and open their heart to people used it against them. Well, that's life. There's going to be the bad, the good, and the evil. But there's also going to be the wonderful people, the kind-hearted people, the people who have been in your shoes before, who will immediately open arms and embrace you and tell you it's okay, you got this, and you will, with that motivation, if you can attain point A by yourself, with all of the motivation you get from seeking help, you will see yourself attaining point D, point E, point F, moving forward. And that will also put you in a position someday where if someone comes knocking at your door, you'll be sympathetic because you've been there before. So it's kind of like a ripple effect. So taking it back a little bit to my process of getting my master's. So one of the things that really helped me was, one, I had a lecturer who saw in me what I didn't see in myself. He saw immediately that I had the personality of me, or someone who needed to be in media, in communication. So every time I would come to class, my computer science class, he would be like, Ike, what are you still doing here? I thought like you're supposed to be a journalist or in media. He kept saying that and I was very confused. Coming from Nigeria, I've always been a computer science, I'm like, what is this man talking about? Is he trying to undermine me? Is he trying to say I'm not smart enough to be a computer science student? But the thing is that sometimes people will see in you what you can't really see in yourself. People will see potentials in you, what you can't really see in yourself. It's okay. Listen to people. You have to always listen. When you listen to people, that doesn't mean you need to change your whole entire game, your whole entire direction, what you were planning to do. But maybe it's time to start to listen and say, where are they coming from? Why is this person telling me this? What is it that is making this person keep repeating this recommendation for me? So that's one thing about seeking help. So seeking help has to also be about being open-minded. You have to be open-minded to what people are saying out there. Don't think everything you have in your head is the right way. Don't think you have it all figured out. Always feel like, okay, I know this is my goal, but what if there are so many ways that I can achieve my goal? I know this is the plan I had to get into my goal. What if there are other ways to get in there? So if you keep an open mind, you will always meet people along the way who can share ideas, who will give you recommendation, and that's part of help, that's part of growth, that's part of change. Always be open-minded, and that's one way you get help. The other thing that also helped me was a lot of people, when I felt like I was failing, a lot of people reminded me that maybe that you are not actually failing, maybe you are doing the wrong thing. And I sought counseling. I spoke up everywhere I go. I will go to work and I will talk to my boss, even when she didn't want to listen, like focus on your job. But I would talk to her every day how I was feeling, what I was going through, and she, in her own little way, she would provide recommendation. I had there was a counseling section there for students. It wasn't meant for staff, but I did go into those counseling room and I spoke to people. I had family support who were telling me every day, you can do it. You just need to find courage. You just need to focus and figure out exactly what you are good at. And when I made the change, I had people who when I made the switch from computer science to media and communication, I had people who stood by me and said, not finishing computer science master's degree wasn't a sign of failure. And if you can finish your master's in media and communication, that's still the same goal. So I had people who, I was open-minded. I was open to counseling. I opened my mouth and I spoke about my problem. People understood what I was going through. People heard me. People listened to me because I made them listen to me. I kept coming back. And I also took recommendations that was given to me. I went to tutoring class. I tried all my best for computer science I exhausted all my options there. And when that wasn't working, I took a different route. And when I took a different route, I put in my 155%, if not 200%, and I saw results. So all of the questions everyone have been asking me, like when you changed the process and all of that, I had community behind me, and that goes to the point and the conversation we're having today. Seek help when you need it. A lot of people in our community today are dying, mental health issues, they're having medical issues, they're having professional issues, they're having different levels of issues, different types of issues, just because they refuse to seek help. People have died and are dying because they refuse to talk about their problems. A lot of people have been abused. A lot of people have been taken advantage of because they refuse to speak out. Speak out, seek help. keep an open mind for if people have hurt you in the past in your process of seeking help and speaking up about your situation. Still keep an open mind. There might be 2 million evil and people in the world who will take advantage of your situation, of your openness. There are billions of people who will not do that. So the fact that you've met 20,000 of those 2 million people doesn't mean you're not going to meet 1 million of the good people. Just keep going, keep seeking help, keep talking about the things that bothers you. And while you are keeping an open mind, also be very intuitive. Not everyone that comes as a helper is actually a helper. So that is very tricky too. So sometimes people come as if they are there to help you. They care about your situation. You have to be sensible enough, even though you are in a situation where you are desperate or vulnerable and you need support at that moment. Not all support is actually the support that you need. So be careful to be smart enough to identify when you are in that situation and be able to navigate your way out of that. But again, that should not stop you to keep seeking help. And when you see people who genuinely want to support you, trust me, your instinct will tell you. You will feel it. You will see that these people are not fussy. They are not. They are not trying to get in your business. They just care. They just want to support you. Because most of these people, sometimes they've been in your position. They've been there before. In my case, I had mentors like my boss, the counselors at my office where I was working, my professors. They've been there before. They've seen tons of students who were struggling like me. I had family who their goal was for me to just succeed. Like that's all they wanted. Like, let this young girl be the best she can be. I had friends. I had a community of friends who I would call all night and tell them and grumble and complain, and they would be like, I know you can do this. You can do this. If that was all, I had an uncle who would stay up on the phone with me all night, editing my stories, editing my piece, and trying to tell me, like, give me some reading skills. Everything I needed, I sought help. So I hope that you understand that it's okay to talk to people when you are not okay. It's okay to share your worries. It's okay to share your discomfort, and it's okay to tell people you are sick, you are failing. If it's at work, you are not getting the details that you need to do a client work or to do a client deliverable, to tell your boss. Speak to your mentors. Find mentors. If your bosses cannot be a mentor to you because you can't really tell them you don't know how to do your job, I'm sure someone in that office who cares enough or who has been at your position before. Trust me, not all boss started as a boss. They started somewhere. They started just like you. You can talk to someone, find someone to trust and speak to them, because eventually that will give you the tools you need. That will give you the tools that you need to get to the next level and get yourself out of that miserable situation so you can keep smiling and you can move to the next level. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Gift Patrick, and my Instagram page is gift_Patrick_. And I know I am supposed to have the guests this week, but we all know the coronavirus out there. It's terrible. We're trying to restrict movement, but I'm glad I'm here to talk to you, and I can't wait to see you in the next episode. Till then, stay strong, enjoy yourself, do your best, be your best self all the time, and I will see you again. This is a conversation with Gift Patrick. I'll see you again next episode. Thank you. Bye.